This is an Algebra 2 topic. This is Chapter 4, Section 1. It's just a real basic introduction to matrices. I'm going to have 3 videos here. This will be the first one. And we're just going to organize data into a matrix. So basically, if you take a bunch of data, so this is SUVs, large, standard, mid-size, and compact, and their base price, their horsepower, towing capacity, cargo space, and fuel economy. Whole bunch of numbers. And we just take them and organize them a little bit. So let me move this up a little bit so I've got some more room. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to rewrite the numbers. So 32450 and then 285. And then I've got 12,000, a 46, and a 17. The next one down, I've got a 29. 115, 275, 8700, 16, and 17.5, and then 27, 975. Just retyping all the numbers basically. 190, a 5700, 34, and 20. And the last one is 18180, 127. I know this is off the bottom of your screen. I'll move this up in just a second. 15 and 26.5. I can't see it either. Let me just click on the extend page. Need to move that over, and oops, have that. There we go. And then if we just put a bracket around the outside, so if I put a bracket on this side, and put the same thing on the other side, voila, we have a matrix. It's just a bunch of numbers that means it's something, and we don't put the labels on it or anything, but it's a bunch of numbers that mean something. So that would be a matrix for our SUVs. So let's take one that's not quite as easy to do. So let's look at our cable company. So Sharon wants to install cable TV in her apartment, and she's compared these two companies. We've got the Rocky Mountain cable and the Bighorn cable. And so we basically have basic service for 26 channels on both of them. We've got standard service for 53 channels on both of them. And then what happens if we add 1 premium channels, 2 premium channels, or 3 premium channels? Okay, so we're going to put those all together. So basic service on, we can do Rocky Mountain first. So Rocky Mountain cable, I'm going to do first. And that's going to be $11.95, which is pretty darn cheap. And then for standard service, it's $30.75. Now it says 1 premium channel is $10. Well, that's in addition to the standard service. So $30.75 plus $10 is going to be $40.75. Right? If I take this $30.75, oops, let me grab a pen here. This $30.75, and I add this $10 plus $10, I end up with $40.75, and that's how I got this number right there. Then I'm going to add this $19 onto the $30.75, so that's going to be 30 plus 19 is going to be $49.75. Let me go back into my typing so you can read it, my writing a little better. So that's going to be $49.75, and make my writing just a little bit smaller so we can get everything in here. And the last one's 25 plus 30.75. 25 plus 30 is 55. That's going to be $55.75. Okay, so I am just simply adding those numbers on there. And then I can look at my Bighorn cable. I was doing lower letters here, wasn't I? Bighorn cable. And so their basic was $9.95. And their standard service was $31.95. And now we need to find 1 premium channel. And since I'm not that good at math in my head, well actually I am, but I'm going to grab my calculator and make sure I don't make any mistakes. This is 1 premium channel in addition to the standard service. And here is my standard service, this $31.95. So I'm going to take my 31.95, I'm going to add it to 8.95, and I'm going to end up with, underneath this one, it came out to be 40.90. I'm going to do the next one. So I'm going to take that 31.95, I'm going to add it to the 16.95 right here, the 16.95 for 2 channels. So plus 16.95, and I end up with that being 48.90. And then the last one is for 3 premium channels is 22.95. So I'm going to take the 31.95 and I'm going to add it to 22.95, and I find out that that is $54.90. Now this is a much easier way to look at the data than up above because we've got it all condensed. And then if I just add my bracket on there, so grab a bracket and put it down here and make it a little bit larger. And then copy it and put it on the other side. Voila, we can now call it a matrix. And we can compare it. So which one's better, Rocky Mountain or Bighorn? Well, if you're just doing a basic service, you'd want Bighorn. If you'd want the standard service, you'd want Rocky Mountain. If you want the standard plus 1 premium channel, that's still Rocky Mountain. Standard plus 2 channels, oh, we're back to Bighorn again. And then standard plus 3 channels, we're still at Bighorn. Okay, so you can look at this very quickly and figure out what you want versus what you have to find the best deal. So one more example here. This is going to be Caitlin wants to attend one of the 3 Iowa universities next year. She has gathered information about tuition, room and board, and enrollment. We want to use a matrix to organize this information on university's total cost for the lowest. Okay, so we've got tuition. We've got 3 universities, right? So we've got Iowa State University. Let's make this smaller so I can type. Iowa State University. And that is going to be a $31.32 tuition, which is $44.32 room and board, and that's $26,845 for enrollment. Okay, so next one down. Next one down, I'm sorry, was going to be, what's our next university? University, oops, make sure I'm in the right spot here. University of Iowa. And they're $32.04 for tuition and $45.97 for room and board, and then $28,311 for their enrollment. And then our last one is University of Northern Iowa, and they're going to be $31.30 for their tuition and $41.49 for room and board, and $14,106 for their enrollment. And again, if I just come over here and I create myself a bracket and put my bracket on, that might be a little bit big of a bracket. Okay, so there's my bracket on that side. C, Control V to copy it and paste it. Flip my bracket around to the other side. There, voila, I have a matrix. And I can look at this data and find out, okay, so which one has the best deal? Looking at total enrollment, definitely University of Northern Iowa, UNI, University of Northern Iowa, had the lowest one by at least $10,000. So I don't think we even have to look at these because these are close. So University of Northern Iowa it is. That's the cheapest one to go to.